numbers, and in fact some of them have really dragged down the stocks quite a bit. Bosch is one stock in fact that has bucked the trend this time and has reported a stable set of numbers. Stephen Berns, the managing director of Bosch, joins in to talk about that. Mr. Berns, good afternoon and thank you for speaking with us today. It's been a decent quarter for the company, a revenue growth of almost 8%,
yeah, good afternoon,
profit growth of almost 12%. Just give us a sense of, how the quarter has shaped up in terms of demand and how you expect the demand to continue in the quarters to come.
Yeah, looking at the previous quarter, the first quarter of this financial year, as you said, we have increased our top line by 7.5%, which is quite good considering that the automotive market production, which is relevant for us, we always consider three-wheelers up to passenger cars, tractors and trucks, has only increased by 4.2%. And our mobility solution, which is by far the largest, has done better than the automotive market in spite of a weak diesel market we have seen overall because of weak tractor and also low diesel rates in passenger cars. And on top of this, we have grown 24% in the beyond mobility solution. So our project business on the energy side, on the security technology side, and also on the packaging technology side has been doing very well this quarter. So that's the top line, and on the bottom line we have taken a large number of different effects in the last years which have been quite successful and effective, leading to the good profitability which you just mentioned.
Stephen, hi. What about your strong margin performance? What steps are you taking for that kind of performance that you just alluded to? And is this kind of performance sustainable?
Well, there are different aspects. I think we have good technology in the diesel side, so that in spite of overall quite some headwind, we have been able to do good in this. On top of this, if you take, for example, on the gasoline system side, we have had a very strong double-digit growth, which is only partly because of market, but mainly because of success in the market and increasing market shares. We are on quite a number also of successful models there, and thus increasing our turnover. And then in the non-mobility solutions, there is some seasonal impact, project business. It always depends when do you actually clock the turnover. But we are quite successful with our products. On the energy efficiency side, have quite a lot of solutions. Also, our projects on photovoltaics, we will actually open a project with one of our customers, Cochin Airport, which is a 12 megawatt peak project next week. So that's big projects, and this is of course helping our turnover.
Okay, that's interesting. So can you tell us what the non-auto business growth could look like in the next, say, 1 year, and how much will it contribute to your overall business as a percentage of revenues?
Yeah, it's always very difficult to tell you the turnover of the next year, so that's a question I cannot answer. We have a share of 14% currently, or in this quarter, which is slightly higher of the 12 to 13% non-automotive business which we had last year. So it's not a target as such to say we want to reduce one or increase the other, but we try to grow as fast as possible in both of the segments.
Okay. Just coming back to the auto segment a bit, the problem has been that the share of diesel cars has gone down in the last couple of weeks and months, and there was an expectation that that would put pressure on your earnings, but we haven't seen that play out. How are you combating such a situation? And in the auto business, in the auto segments, what kind of growth would you foresee?
you're right. This is the point which I mentioned earlier, that in spite of the low diesel overall, our diesel business has developed in line with the automotive market, more or less, which I think is quite successful. And this we have been doing because of good technology and good projects, and also being in the right customer projects. The market overall has been relatively flat for now nearly 3 years. If you take all the different segments together, there have been some peaks, for example, in tractors in certain periods, and there have been some peaks in trucks in other periods. Overall, there has not been a major development in production volumes if you look at the last 13 quarters. And we expect that in the different segments now, the truck business is going to recover further. We have had a very good development in the heavy commercial vehicles, and the light commercial vehicle decrease has reduced, and we expect that this is bottoming out and then increasing as well. We also see a good modest growth in passenger cars. Actually, July figures have been quite promising. And we hope that because the monsoon has been better, or so far has been better than forecasted and expected, also the rural demand is going to pick up. But the first months of the calendar year definitely, and also the last 3 months have been relatively low. So therefore, overall, the expectations for the tractor market are modest.
All right, Stephen. Thanks a lot for your time today, and all the best for the